AITA for being upset my wife didn't stay in the hospital with me. So I, 35M, was in a motorcycle accident earlier this week. My wife, 35F, has 3 kids from a previous marriage. 17F, 10M, 5M, and we have a 1-year-old together. I had a collapsed lung and had a chest tube put in. A broken leg and arm and torn ligaments in my knee. I've been in the hospital since Monday. She came out the day of my accident and stayed until about 4 a.m. Was back that same morning but has gone home each night. Yesterday she only stayed until about 1 p.m. to prepare the house for the hurricane and didn't come at all today because the weather wasn't great and she said she didn't want to leave the kids. I told her I was upset that I basically went through everything alone. That I would have done anything to be with her. She told me she's been there as much as possible and it's not fair to dump all the kids on her daughter, especially since I'll need a lot of help when I get home and her daughter will need to help with the kids when she works. I told her marriage means through thick and thin and I feel abandoned. Now I'm getting one-word answers from her. AITA for feeling like an afterthought? Bro, she has to take care of 4 kids by herself. And is trying to visit you. Clearly she's trying her best and she's got a lot on her plate. YTA. 4 kids and a hurricane? Plus you'll be coming home at some point and then she'll have to take care of your ass too. You are being cared for nursing professionals and you are safe. Your wife isn't a nurse. Please chill out and let her take care of business. You should probably increase your life insurance if you have a family and insist on riding a motorcycle. If you're okay enough to whine on Reddit, I think you're okay enough to not have your wife at your side 24/7. YTA for not understanding that a 17-year-old shouldn't be responsible for 3 kids age 10 and under. During a hurricane, the situation isn't ideal, but it's obvious to me she's there as much as she can. Marriage means through thick and thin, but so does parenthood. The fact that you're not more understanding of her trying to balance all her responsibilities during a hurricane is bizarre. YTA. Your wife is currently trying to visit you, take care of 4 children, and prep the house for a hurricane. And you're upset that she's not visiting you for long enough, while also caring for 4 children and preparing for a literal hurricane? Yeah, it's not ideal for you, but unless you've managed to perfect human cloning, she's doing all she can. YTA she was taking care of her motherfucking kids and preparing for a goddamn hurricane. Yeah, YTA man. You're in stable condition. She's been there a lot earlier this week. She has a 5-year-old and you both have a 1-year-old plus a hurricane that she has to worry about. I'm sorry about your accident. But she didn't cause it and it sounds like she's doing the best she can. You're being an odd dude. You need to apologize to her. YTA. 1. Motorcycles are inherently dangerous. You take this risk every time you ride. 2. You know there are 4 kids at home. Who is supposed to take care of them all day? 3. By your post. Sounds like you live in Florida or wherever the hurricane is hitting. Someone needs to prepare. 4. She has been there every day. You didn't go through anything by yourself, except sleeping. Maybe you're still on drugs and aren't aware of how much of an you sound. It's not as though she's leaving you to go party. She has kids, including one of yours. Riding a motorcycle comes with risks. And you took that risk. It was your choice. And it will be your choice if you continue to ride and put yourself in the hospital again. Stop making your wife feel guilty when she's doing all she can. YTA. You're lucky she visits you at all with your attitude. So she's juggling 4 kids, including a 1-year-old, a hurricane, and a husband in the hospital, and you're upset that you're not her only focus. Dude. YTA, and you need to understand that not only does she have to take care of the kids and prepare for the hurricane, she has to do it all without any help from you. In fact, you're making it worse. Yesterday she only stayed until about 1 p.m. to prepare the house for the hurricane and didn't come at all today because the weather wasn't great, and she said she didn't want to leave the kids. In other words, she wanted to make sure your kids stayed alive. But instead of being understanding, I told her I was upset. YTA. There was a whole hurricane. The children were probably afraid and needing comfort. Why are you competing with literal children? Your children at that. For attention? Are you freaking serious? You drive one of the most irresponsible vehicles and get in a wreck, and you're all over your wife, who is now responsible for all of the things single-handedly. No. You owe her a major apology. YTA. I hope you feel better, but whining about her taking care of the family when there's nothing helpful at the hospital she can do is wrong. YTA. I'm sorry you are in the hospital. But WTF? You can't look outside of your situation to see what else is going on around you. All she is going to do in the hospital is sit there. Literally. She's not your doctor or your care team, and she had been coming. Y'all have 4 kids, one who is barely a toddler, and you want her to abandon the kids during a hurricane to come sit and look at you. And she has been there to see you. Listen, as someone who has been in the hospital a number of times during my marriage, for weeks at a time due to emergency surgeries, I have never played this guilt trip on my husband for being home taking care of our children and keeping the house running while also cutting out time to come see me. Would I have loved to be in the room with him? Absolutely. But I knew he was being a responsible adult and looking after our family while the doctors looked after me. I made sure the doctors made sure I made it home. She is reassuring the children you aren't dead. You are getting well. All will be okay. She is also trying to make sure your home and family will be safe during this hurricane wrecking havoc in towns currently. And she is also beating herself up because she can't secure a sitter for her to be there more for you. She didn't need that comment or attitude from you. She's trying her best, and you shouldn't be treating her like she isn't doing anything at all. That's not fair. And to expect her to drive in unsafe conditions to sit with you after an automobile, I don't know what else to call a motorcycle, accident put you there is not okay at all. To reprimand her for making a safe decision isn't cool. Cut her some slack and spend time getting well. Not being mad at your wife for doing the best she can, being stretched thin in a very stressful situation. YTA. You really wanted her to leave her children home alone during a hurricane so she could sit with you? Seriously? Depending where you are located, people's houses have been destroyed. Gone. Yeah. Let's risk losing her children because a grown man can't be alone at the hospital. YTA. I only have 2 kids. I am deeply in love with my husband, but given the circumstances I would visit when I could as much as I could. The 17-year-old is definitely not responsible for the other children, and there's the hurricane. I am sorry you were in an accident, but your wife is doing the best she can. YTA. Sorry for your accident and injuries. Now, FFS. You are being taken care of. That's what they do in hospitals. Your wife has spent a great deal of time with you and will be stuck caring for you when you go home. Don't begrudge her the opportunity to not let her children die in a Category 4 hurricane. I hope you are just feeling sorry for yourself. A meeting with a therapist should be part of your trauma care. If your medical team is not part of this care, you need to ask for it. By your timeline, on the day of the accident, she stayed with you overnight Monday until Tuesday 4 a.m. Tuesday morning she returned for the day but went home at night. Wednesday she came but left at 1. Those must be some serious painkillers you're on, my friend. Because that's not remotely leaving you to go through everything, basically alone. She has 2 young children at home and a hurricane to cope with, while you are in a hospital receiving care from a team. I know it's better to have your comfort person with you, but it's utterly unreasonable to expect her to be there 24 hours a day. YTA. YTA. Look, I get wanting your loved with you, but you're in the middle of a hurricane and she has 4 children to look after. What would happen if weather got worse and couldn't leave the hospital? Was the 17-year-old supposed to watch all of the other little ones? Completely unrealistic.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic AITA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.